Recently, it was reported that Todd Gurley officially announced his retirement from the NFL. And while this fake news tweet from Todd is extremely confusing, I think he just means the officially retired part. I think. But he was asked directly if he was done, and here's what he had to say.
You trying to hint that maybe you're calling it quits, dude?
Oh, well, I don't think there's any question about that one.
Just to be clear, you said there's no doubt, so you're done, right? You're not coming back.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I wouldn't necessarily call these answers vague, but they could be a little bit more on point. And I know Todd was kind of upset with some of the dudes in the media saying, y'all so ready for a story, I can't even do my own first for my friends and family. And you know I always lean toward the side of the players, but on this one, I gotta be honest. Because Todd hasn't played since 2020, and we can very clearly see him on Twitter thanking all the running backs that came before him, there's nobody that would look at that and not assume retirement. And I gotta give love to the dude over here on NFL Network because they brought him on and asked him directly. They obviously mess up a lot, report stuff way too fast. I've even made that mistake before, but in this particular case, all the signs was there. And then once you bring a person on and ask them directly, unless you say, hey, I'm coming back, I'm not retiring, you can't really fault the media for this one. Over 2 full years ago, I did What Happened to Todd Gurley, and right at the start of that video, here's what I said. Cue the Wayne. But I also said, Todd Gurley is a unique star. Smart, quiet, reserved, thoughtful, guarded. These are words used to describe Todd by those closest to him. But perhaps the most unique thing about Todd Gurley is the fact that he's one of the few stars that I honestly believe could walk away from the game and be completely fine. Starting to look like I might have got that one right. Cue the Wayne.
No quitter, 'cause I'ma go get it.
All right, real quick before we jump in, it's time for a quick word from today's video sponsor, DraftKings. Now we almost to the halfway point of the NFL season, and now we kind of got an idea of how teams are stacking up. And I know you calling out I told you so's every week in the group chat, so put that football knowledge to the test by using today's video sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL, and they got a real cool offer for all the new customers. Only thing new customers need to do is sign up using promo code FlemLo. Bet $5 on any pregame moneyline wager, and you'll receive an additional $200 in free bets if your bet cashes. So yeah, bro, any new customer who bet at least $5 on a team to win straight up, if that team wins, you'll get an additional $200 in free bets. Also, with same game parlays, you can combine multiple bets from the same game for a shot at even bigger winnings. Now, if you live in a state that don't yet allow sports betting, don't forget about DraftKings Daily Fantasy, where they done cooked up even more ways to win some cash on football this year. Also, for the multi-sport stars out there, don't forget the NBA season is starting soon too, and DraftKings got a bunch of ways to win money over there as well. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code FlemLo and receive $200 in free bets if you put at least $5 on a pre-game money line bet and actually hit. Your team do gotta win now. Again, that's promo code FlemLo only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Shout out to DraftKings once again for sponsoring the video. Without further ado, let's get it, man. The careers of NFL running backs can come and go like that. One day they could be the best back in the league, and the next, going for a nice long swim in the free agent pool. If you don't remember how dominant Todd Gurley was early in his career, I actually did a little update on him a few months ago. Check it out. Now, 2015's Rookie of the Year, when I say the name, might actually seem like he played way back in the early 2000s. But in all actuality, it wasn't that long ago at all. Some of y'all already know I'm talking about another former Rams player, running back Todd Gurley. But after being named the league's best offensive player only 7 years back, today Todd Gurley is completely out of the NFL. Early on in his career, nobody would have ever guessed how his future would go, especially not the Rams. See, back in 2015, today's Hollywood Rams were still in St. Louis. And back then, they actually used to use their draft picks in a conventional way. In 2014, they took Aaron Donald, who's still a staple of that franchise. And then the following year, 2015, they take Todd Gurley, another player thought to be a future staple of the team. His first 4 games in the NFL actually made him look like geniuses. Although some had questioned the pick due to Todd's torn ACL suffered during his final year in college, he showed zero signs of it early on in his NFL career. Through his first 4 NFL games, this man rushed for 566 yards, the most by any player ever in their first 4 NFL contests. He finished the season with 1,106 yards and 10 touchdowns and was named a Pro Bowler in his very first season. Then after a sophomore slump in 2016, the Rams hired Sean McVay, and then once again, the Todd Gurley stock was on a rocket. So after winning Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2015, he won Offensive Player of the Year in 2017. And in both 2017 and 2018, he was named First Team All-Pro, made the Pro Bowl, and led the league in rushing touchdowns. He was considered by most to be the very best the league has to offer at the running back position. But unfortunately, life sometimes comes at you with 4.3 speed. Considering what would happen next, Todd was really fortunate to sign the contract that he did. Until this day, it's still pretty unusual for a running back, which honestly is probably because of the Todd Gurley situation. Had it worked out better, you'd probably see running backs get a little bit more guaranteed money, but it just didn't work out. So basically, he got a $60 million extension with $45 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid player in the league at that position. But by the end of that very same season, Gurley's attempts had gotten so low that it sparked tons of questions from fans and media alike. So it was rumored that he had some mysterious injury, and in 2019, it was finally reported that he developed arthritis in that left knee, the same one that he'd previously injured. Once again, if you want more on this one, I do have a What Happened To video. He still actually managed to rush for 857 yards, but it was clear that the $60 million man was no longer the player that he once was. So he played 15 games with the Falcons in 2020, but he wasn't signed by anybody last year. And with the rate that teams like the Baltimore Ravens, for instance, was losing running backs last year, for them to not even bring Todd in, I felt that was pretty telling. Not to mention his own former team lost Cam Akers for most of the season. They also didn't bring him in. So with that being said, at this point it seems like Todd Gurley's NFL career may be over. Today, Todd seems to be enjoying his time off as much as he can, doing some charity work along with a few brand deals. And I noticed that in one of these commercials, he's actually shown doing some hiking, which means his knee's not so bad to where he can't move around. And at 27, he might still have some left in the tank. But is there any team out there who's willing to give the 3-time All-Pro another shot? In retirement, Todd has done something he never thought he'd do: have ownership in a football team. While he admits that while playing, he knew he'd never have enough bread to own an NFL team, he does have ownership in the fan-controlled football league, along with several other business ventures. These days, one thing in sports has seemed to definitely turn in a positive way. You see a lot less athletes mishandling their money, and because of that, a lot less athletes end up going broke. Now, granted, there's a lot more opportunities to make money off the field today, and even on the field, the contract numbers are a lot higher. And while Todd has never forgotten the dudes that paved the way and made it possible for him to make the bread that he made in his short career, you still gotta give today's athletes some credit for learning from the dudes who came before them and doing a better job, like Marshawn would say, of taking care of their chickens. Doing that has put many of today's athletes in a good space, in a space where we don't have to see them way past their prime out there on the field just beating up their body. Too many times we've seen players hanging on after bad injuries, even though everybody, including the player himself, knows that he can't be effective like he once could. Todd Gurley was able to get out, and it sucks that he wasn't able to play out his full prime before getting hurt, but the fact that he got the guaranteed money before he got hurt should help make his transition as smooth as possible. If you want to relive Todd Gurley's career, check out my What Happened To video I did on. That video is already 2 years old, but it covers his entire career because he hasn't played in the league since I dropped the video. That's all I got for y'all today. I was getting spammed with Todd Gurley stuff yesterday on Twitter, so decided to wake up this morning and drop this. Click the link popping up on the screen right now to watch What Happened To Todd Gurley. Peace.